That morning, the sun blazed fiercely within the grand white mansion on Banana Island, Lagos. In the dim compound, a frail, blind old woman wept on the cold floor, her sorrow echoing through the silence. Her hands shook as she reached, brushing against the icy cement. Her wrapper slipped, barely clinging to her waist. A battered bag rested beside her, frayed and forgotten. This was Mama Ada, everything and nothing all at once. Blind, helpless, heartbroken. She felt the weight of the world crushing her spirit. Before her stood Adana, fierce-eyed and bitter-voiced, her daughter-in-law. "You took my daughter from me, didn't you?" Adana screamed. "You're a witch, a wicked old woman who feasts on her own blood," Mama Ada gasped. "Adana, I promise on my husband's grave, I am not a witch. I would never harm Ibube. She was my everything." "Shut up," Adana screamed. "You took her life in her sleep, and now my husband lies cold as well. Your son is lost. You invited darkness into these walls. I should have kicked you out ages ago." The neighbors watched, eyes wide, hearts racing. The security guards averted their gazes. Even the house help who once served tea to Mama Ada stood frozen, fear gripping her voice. Fury surged through Adana as she yanked Mama Ada's bag and hurled it out the gate. "Go. This place is no longer yours. Not here. Not ever. Not after taking my family from me." Tears cascaded down Mama Ada's weathered cheeks. Her voice shattered. "Where do I turn? Adana? Darkness envelopes me. I'm utterly alone. I stand alone, a widow. David was my everything." Adana was unbothered. Her heart turned to stone. "Go wherever you want. It doesn't matter to me. Drag yourself to the streets. Seek your coven, but keep it away from my home. Never again." She slammed the gate, leaving Mama Ada to simmer in the heat. The sun blazed fiercely. Mama Ada knelt on the earth, her lips quivering as she breathed out desperate prayers. She gazed skyward, yearning for a reply. She had just lost her child. Before that, there was only Ibube, her beloved granddaughter. What now? She faced blame, accusations, and was discarded like refuse. She coughed softly, her back pressing against the gate. A chill enveloped her, not from the storm outside, but from a turmoil within. Isolation, agony, heartbreak. In that moment, everything changed. A fierce wind howled through the compound. The wind whispered hauntingly. A figure emerged at the gate, startling and enigmatic. A tall, dark figure loomed, clad in a stark white shirt and black trousers. He emerged from the black SUV, silence enveloping him. "Mama," the voice whispered, trembling with urgency. Mama Ada's ears twitched, alert and alive. She blinked, though darkness enveloped her. That voice, impossible. Couldn't be. "David," she breathed, her voice trembling. Amara stepped outside, phone in hand, heart racing. She halted, heart racing. Her eyes grew wide. Her jaw fell in shock, shattering the silence. Before her stood David, her husband, undeniably alive. The man she believed was lost forever. The man she said was taken to the mortuary just 2 days prior. "David," she whispered, her voice trembling with disbelief. You're gone. An accident happened to you. Why are you here?" David's gaze pierced her, icy and unyielding. "I never died, Amara," he whispered, a chilling calm in his voice. "Everything crumbled in an instant. I made it through the wreckage. I've been concealed, mending and observing. I've witnessed more than enough." Amara stepped back, heart racing. "This can't be happening." Her voice trembled as she crouched, scooped a handful of sand, and hurled it at him. "If you're a ghost, just vanish," she screamed. But David remained. He drew near. "I exist, Amara, undeniably real." Amara stuttered. "I came home to find you, threw my blind mother out. She wields dark magic. She took our daughter from us. She invited darkness into this sanctuary." "No," David roared. "No, you're mistaken. Pain has stolen your sight. Ibube's death was a tragedy, a quiet illness that stole her away in the night. So now you turn your anger on my mother, a 70-year-old blind widow?" He knelt by his mother, gripping her hand tightly. Mama, I'm here, he breathed softly. Your son has arrived. Mama Ada's cries pierced the silence. My son, my son. I feared I had lost you forever. Amara was paralyzed. Her body trembled, not from fear, but from shame. David stood up, eyes locked on her. Your cruelty surprises me, Amara. You betrayed my mother when she was at her weakest. Your heart is tainted by grief. He paused, voice trembling. I can't call you my wife anymore, Amara gasped. What do you mean? David's hand trembled as he reached for his phone. I've reached out to my lawyer. I'm ending my marriage, and it's all unraveling. They vanished. They're beyond your worth. No, David, don't do this. Your suffering morphed into fury. You allowed your sorrow to unleash chaos on what we built. You wounded the only woman who ever truly loved us. He faced the guards. Carry Mama in and feed her. Mama Ada was cradled and brought back into the mansion. Amara stood by the gate, trembling, utterly alone. She collapsed, tears streaming down her face. As the gate creaked shut, a heavy silence fell. Amara perched on a bamboo bench outside a humble mud house, her worn wrapper hugging her slender waist. Dust clung to her feet, her hair fell wild, and her eyes were puffy from tears. 2 months since David cast her aside. It had been 2 long months since she had last set foot in the mansion on Banana Island. 2 months since everything fell apart. The village held its breath that morning, silence shattered only by a distant rooster's cry and the creak of a passing wheelbarrow. Children's laughter faded as they caught sight of her. Eyes locked in disbelief, whispers surrounded them. That's the woman who claimed her blind mother-in-law was a witch, one girl whispered. Amara felt it echo within her. She listened, absorbing every word. Whispers filled the air as she passed. Even the old women at the stream fell silent. They never grasped it. They were oblivious to the agony that consumed her as she entered her daughter's room, discovering Ibube cold and lifeless in her bed. She stepped into the kitchen, intent on making her pap. Ibube was suddenly 4. She thrived. At least, she appeared vibrant. No warnings, no signs, only silence. And then she vanished. Amara was lost forever. Her cries faded to whispers, her heart hardened into stone. Yet, amidst the chaos, Mama Ada stood unscathed by the tragedy. Silent, serene, whispers of devotion linger. Amara had broken. Bitterness consumed her. She turned away from logic. She craved a target for her fury. And Mama Ada, silent and vulnerable, became the prey. In the quiet of the village, Amara reflected on all she had lost. David, her sanctuary, her pride. Her gaze pierced the heavens. Why didn't you intervene, God? A sharp knock echoed against the wooden door behind her. The door groaned, revealing an ancient figure. Uncle Ease, her beloved uncle. Amara, he whispered, his voice laced with tenderness. She rose, shaking off the remnants of her past. Absolutely, uncle. He perched on a stool next to her. I just returned from town. I caught a glimpse of your friend Tochi. She mentioned you've been looking for David. Amara's head dipped, a silent agreement heavy with unspoken weight. I've dispatched them. I wrote letters, pouring my heart onto the page. Silence. No response. Uncle Ease let out a heavy sigh. He's in pain. But what of Mama Ada? She pleaded with me countless times to look after you before your wedding. She believed in you, Amara. I know, Amara whispered. Go. Set things right. Here, pride is your enemy. Your daughter is gone. It hurt deeply. Yet you transformed your suffering into bitterness. You transformed into a stranger. Tears streamed down her face. I've given it my all. What else is left for me? Pray, he urged, then hold your breath. Healing takes time, and sometimes that's all we need. Amara gazed upward, the wind caressing her hair softly. Each night, my prayers echo in the silence. Just one more chance, that's all I ask. In Lagos, David lingered in his secluded home office, the weight of the world pressing down on him. In a gray kaftan and glasses, his weary face told stories of endless legal battles. Mama Ada lingered in the shadows, wrapped in a shawl, her presence heavy in the air. My son, she whispered, her voice trembling. David faced her, eyes burning with unspoken words. "What is it, Mama?" Her hands trembled as they rested in her lap. "Let's talk about Amara." David's brow furrowed. "Mama, please, let's just drop it." Mama Ada's smile was a spark of warmth in the cold. "She wounded me, yet anger eludes my heart." "You ought to be," he responded. "She cast you out into the cold street. She labeled you a witch. You were on the brink of starvation." Mama Ada's head trembled in disbelief. In the depths of sorrow, clarity slips away. Amara's heart shattered with the loss of a child. Then she feared she had lost you forever. She was shattered. Her claim was unjustifiable. "I forgive her, Mama," David cut in. David paced, tension crackling in the air. "Mama, this goes beyond forgiveness. It's about justice. She discarded all we had created together. But she remains your wife," Mama Ada insisted. "She remains my daughter in my heart." David pressed his fingers to his brow, a storm brewing within. "What do you mean?" "Go. Bring her back." David spun around, heart racing. "Mama, please, no." "Absolutely," she demanded. "Every soul deserves another shot at redemption." He hesitated. Silence enveloped the room. Mama Ada's hands extended softly. "You are more than my son. You are her partner. I see your heart, David. Her memory lingers in your heart. If I, the one she wounded deepest, can find it in my heart to forgive, then so can you." David fell silent, the weight of unspoken words hanging heavy in the air. At last he grasped his phone. "Prepare the convoy," he commanded. "We're heading to the village." The next morning in the village, Amara swept the front yard, her broom heavy with exhaustion. Every twinge sent a jolt through her spine. Hunger clawed at her insides. She had withered away. Her once radiant skin lay barren and parched, her fingers calloused and weary from endless chores. A boy from the village market dashed towards her. "Auntie Amara! Auntie Amara!" he cried out, desperation lacing his voice. "What is it?" she asked, her brow glistening with sweat. A convoy approaches, massive vehicles, armed guards on high alert. "They're coming this way." Amara straightened her posture. Her heart pounded fiercely. Is it a convoy? Is it possible? She abandoned the broom and sprinted to the front of the compound. Dust swirled as a black Escalade crept down the narrow village path, flanked by 2 Hilux vans. Neighbors burst from their homes, urgency in their steps. "What's happening? Is that really the governor?" "It's David, Amara's husband." Amara stood still, heart racing. Her legs trembled. The black SUV's door swung open. There he stood, David. He emerged, clad in white agbada, his gaze steady yet enigmatic. Suddenly, Mama Ada emerged from the shadows, gripping his arm tightly. Amara inhaled sharply. She was frozen in place. Words failed her. Could this be real? They stood before her house, hearts racing. David, vibrant and present, locked eyes with her. "I came," he said, his voice steady, "because Mama asked me to." Amara fell to her knees, trembling violently. "Forgive me, please, Mama." David stepped closer. Her hand rested softly on Amara's shoulder. "My daughter," she whispered, her smile radiating warmth. "I see your pain. Grief twists the heart in ways we can't fathom. I forgive you. I forgive you truly and deeply." Amara wept, her sobs echoing in the silence. David lifted her up, their eyes locking in a moment that held everything. "Tomorrow is a mystery," he whispered, "but Mama believes that everyone deserves another shot. Here I am, ready to try once more." With those words, he grasped her hand tightly. The villagers erupted in applause. Some wept. Amara's gaze locked onto David. It was then at Mama Ada. In that instant, she experienced a surge she hadn't known in months. Hope. Amara lingered at the mansion's bedroom window, eyes fixed on the garden below. Birds darted through the vibrant blooms. The water fountain erupted, sending mist swirling into the air. All appeared unchanged, yet a profound shift lingered in the air. 3 weeks had passed since David and Mama returned to the village, bringing her home. 3 weeks since she last entered this house. 3 weeks since safety slipped away. Yet 3 weeks of healing linger. She spun, eyes scanning the room, heart racing. It remained hers, unyielding. The curtains, a soft cream, whispered secrets of light and shadow. The pristine white bed beckons. The silver-framed photo captures her and David, forever frozen in their wedding day bliss. Once, their smiles radiated joy, untainted by sorrow. She approached Ibub's room, heart racing, and gently nudged the door ajar. It remained the same. The starry pink wallpaper, a small bed, a lone teddy bear perched above. Her drawings clung to the wall, echoes of a past that lingered painfully. A stick-figure family, David, Amara, and little Ibub, clasp hands beneath a beaming sun. Amara clutched it tightly, her heart racing. A gentle knock echoed from the door behind her. She spun around. It was David. The weight of his name hung in the air, a storm brewing within. He gazed at her, warmth flickering in his eyes, yet caution lingered. "Are you really okay?" Amara brushed away her tears. "I visit this place each morning, haunted by her memory." David moved in, heart racing. "I do as well, especially when you're lost in dreams." Amara offered a faint smile. "I felt utterly adrift, David. I cast blame on all but my own reflection. Pain transformed me into a new being, a version of myself I dread." "You were lost," he whispered softly. "Grief consumes me, yet the weight of my actions towards Mama lingers, haunting every thought." David exhaled heavily. "She has let go of the past. That's all that counts now." "I don't deserve her forgiveness," Amara whispered, her voice trembling. "Or yours," David whispered, gripping her hand tightly. "Amara, fury consumed me, a raw, seething rage. Yet, amidst it all, a truth has emerged. In pain, people often choose poorly. What counts is their response once they understand." Her gaze met his. "I want to change," she whispered. "I long to become the person Ibub would admire." "You are already there. Or perhaps you are her now." In Ibub's room, they stood silent, hands intertwined. Silence enveloped them, yet the rhythm of mending souls echoed profoundly. In the days that followed, Amara transformed. It was quiet, yet undeniably profound. She rose with the dawn, ready to assist Mama Ada with her bath and clothes. She plated the food with love, sitting beside her, absorbing every tale shared. Some days, their laughter echoed in the silence. On some days, they just sat quietly, enveloped in each other's warmth. The staff felt it as well. She had stopped yelling at the house helps. Her smile pierced the silence, a fleeting spark in the air. She assisted the gardener, their hands brushing against the weight of the tools, a silent bond forming in the shared labor. Every week, she brought food and clothes to the orphanage, a small beacon of hope in their lives. Her heart had irrevocably changed. One afternoon, Mama Ada sat beneath a sprawling umbrella, the breeze whispering secrets around her. Amara offered her a bowl of fruit, a simple gesture that spoke volumes. "Mama, are you okay?" "Absolutely, my daughter, thank you." Amara lingered close, the air thick with unspoken words. "Mama, may I ask you something important?" "Continue." "That day, when I pulled you away, when I hurled those terrible words, why didn't you scream back at me? Why didn't you despise me?" Mama Ada tilted her blind face to the sky. "For I've seen enough to understand that pain drives people to actions they will come to regret. I was once like you, too." Amara's eyes widened. "Are you there?" "Yes, after losing my second child years ago, I directed my grief towards my sister-in-law. I believed she had woven a curse. I pushed her out of my life." "What transpired?" Amara whispered. 3 days later, she was gone on that road, and the guilt consumed me for years until darkness took my sight. In that moment, the truth struck me. I had been utterly blind. Amara stifled a gasp. Her eyes brimmed with tears. "I felt your anger, Mama," David pressed on. "Understanding doesn't equate to acceptance. I hoped you'd see it in time." Amara collapsed, clutching Mama fiercely. "I regret it deeply. Forgive me, Mama." Mama Ada caressed her hair gently. "I understand. I brought you back for this reason." 3 months slipped away. The house pulsed with warmth once more. Smiles blossomed once more. Laughter reverberated through the corridors. Suddenly, the unexpected struck. Amara felt the weight of uncertainty as days passed without her period. Initially, she believed it was just stress. Yet the second month arrived, and hope faded into silence. She slipped into the pharmacy, heart racing, and bought a test. Uplifting, she couldn't accept it. She faced the hospital test. Hope reignites. Amara sat frozen on the hospital bench, trapped in her thoughts. Her fingers shook with urgency. Her lips trembled, a silent prayer of gratitude. She came home, facing David in the living room. "I need to share something with you." David's gaze lifted from the screen. "What is it?" "I'm expecting." His eyes grew wide. "What is happening?" "I'm pregnant, 60 days. David let the tablet slip from his grasp. "Amara, is this for real?" She nodded, tears cascading once more. He approached, cupping her face in his hands. "Is joy within your reach?" "I exist." Terrified, yet elated, he wrapped her in a fierce hug. Precious gift, a fleeting second chance. Out of nowhere, Mama Ada's voice pierced through the silence from her room. "Who weeps in the shadows? Is it finally good news? Should I bring my cane?" They shared a moment of laughter. Amara sprinted toward her. Mama, I'm with child." The old woman let out a piercing scream of joy. "Jehovah, oh God, you have heard my cries." She clapped her hands, a radiant smile breaking free. That night, the mansion pulsed with music. Just silence, just absence. Family swaying under the moonlight, barefoot, hearts bursting with joy. 9 months later, David paced outside the maternity ward, his hands gripping his head tightly. Amara's scream pierced the silence, raw and anguished. Nurses darted through the chaos. Then silence fell. The piercing wail of a newborn shattered the silence. And then another. The door creaked open. The doctor emerged, a smile breaking through the tension. "Well done, sir. Your wife welcomed twin girls into the world." David's jaw fell open in shock. 2 souls, 1 heartbeat? Yes, 2 precious little girls. He burst through the door, heart racing, and saw Amara, fragile yet radiant, cradling 2 tiny lives in her arms. Her gaze met his, filled with unshed tears. In a fleeting moment, David pressed his lips to Adi's forehead, while Nkem watched, emotions swirling in the air. "Thank you for holding on, for believing." Mama Ada stepped in, guided gently by a nurse. The doctor handed her a baby, fragile and perfect, igniting a fierce love within her. She clutched the child tightly, whispering, "Welcome to a home of second chances." Years slipped away, a haunting echo of time lost. The mansion on Banana Island, once silent, now thrummed with laughter, footsteps, and the pulse of a vibrant family. Adiz and Nkem, the twin daughters of David and Amara, blossomed into fierce, brilliant young women. With their father's keen intellect and their mother's fierce spirit, they were a force to be reckoned with. They glided through the world, a soft brilliance, captivating and undeniable. From an early age, both girls displayed extraordinary brilliance. While other children played with dolls and crayons, Adiz and Nkem delved into profound questions about the human body and the mysteries of medicine. At just 5, Nkem confided in Mama Ada, "I want to heal people like Jesus. I want to find a way to make sure no one ever feels pain," Adiz said, her voice trembling with urgency. Their dreams burned bright, unyielding. In school, they dominated every class. Teachers marveled at their humility, untouched by brilliance or their father's riches. Adiz, after winning a national science fair, revealed to a reporter, "Mama taught us something. She believed a second chance holds value only when it's used to elevate others, and that's precisely what they achieved." At just 24, Adiz and Nkem had become accomplished medical doctors. Fresh from a life-changing medical mission in Kenya, they stood poised to share their experiences at a global health conference in Port Harcourt. Amara faced the mirror, her fingers deftly smoothing the elegant blue wrapper. Her silver earrings caught the sunlight, glinting with a fierce beauty as it poured through the bedroom window. David stepped inside, adjusting the cuff of his pristine senator attire. "You look stunning," he said, pride radiating from his smile. Amara's cheeks burned with a deep crimson. "Your words echo each time I don this wrapper," and each time, they ring true. They laughed, but then Amara's voice turned tender. Can you even imagine? From a small hospital bed, our daughters now echo their voices to the world. David nodded, a testament to grace itself. She turned, gripping his hand tightly. David, I owe you everything for that day in the village, for restoring my hope. Flashes blazed, the world watched. Doctors, researchers, and students from across Africa held their breath in eager anticipation. The MC's voice rang out, "Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our next speakers, Dr. Adiz and Dr. Nkem David." Applause erupted as the twins approached the podium, clad in identical white coats, their soft makeup and serene smiles captivating the crowd. Adiz broke the silence. "We stand here not merely as doctors, but as daughters reborn through love, forgiveness, and the strength of family." Nkem pressed on. "We started in agony, yet it was the unwavering faith of those who embraced redemption over revenge that forged our path." Backstage, David and Amara clutched each other's hands, tears brimming in their eyes. Amara's hand dove into her handbag, retrieving a crumpled piece of paper. It was a drawing, worn and delicate. Ibyub's crayon sketch of their family, a simple stick figure clutching hands, echoes a world of love and longing. Amara pressed the paper against her heart. "If only she could see them," she whispered, her voice trembling. David's hand covered hers, a silent promise lingering in the air. Each smile from them ignites her heart. After the conference, the family was engulfed by reporters, cameras blinding them with flashes. "Dr. Adiz, how did your family influence your journey into medicine?" Her gaze met her mother's. "I witnessed the destruction of pain and the resurrection through healing. I yearned to guide others toward their own healing." Nkem's head dipped in silent agreement. "Mama and Papa instilled in us the strength to face our past, urging us to rise from it instead of fleeing. That's what defines us." They came back to Lagos the following weekend. Preparations surged forward. The twins stood on the brink of forever. Adiz's heart raced for Dr. Toby, the brilliant pediatrician who captivated her during residency. Nkem crossed paths with Ikenna, a biomedical engineer, at a workshop on vaccine development. Both men were gentle, honorable, and cherished the girls deeply. The mansion thrummed with life. Tailors, decorators, chefs, each with a vital role to play. Amidst the chaos, Mama Ada sat, clad in delicate pink lace, her hair perfectly tied back. She rocked gently, a soft smile gracing her lips, lost in the haunting melody that filled the air. Amara approached her, dropping to her knees. "Mom, this day is yours alone." Mama Ada chuckled, a knowing glint in her eye. "I'm grateful that God granted me the chance to witness this. My granddaughters, healers, and now wives." Amara gazed at her, tears brimming in her eyes. "Mama, you're everything beyond just a grandmother. You guide us through the storm." Mama Ada's weathered hand brushed against Amara's cheek, a silent connection sparking between them. "My daughter, you are the evidence that even a shattered heart can find strength once more." The day of vows dawned. The venue shimmered with anticipation. Shimmering glass chandeliers, delicate white orchids, a crimson carpet strewn with golden petals. The ocean breeze whispered secrets, stirring the soul. With drums pounding and voices soaring, the moment arrived. David stood tall in a deep navy agbada, silver threads glinting like stars against the night. Beside him, Amara shimmered in a royal purple gown, her hair a regal crown atop her head. They moved deliberately, flanking their daughters, down the aisle. Adiz, radiant in her white gown edged with gold, clutched David's arm tightly. In a sleek champagne dress, Nkem clutched her mother's hand tightly. As they neared the altar, the daughters exchanged knowing smiles with their parents. "Thank you," Adiz whispered, "for choosing love," Nkem added. Amara and David locked eyes, a silent storm brewing between them. "We did it." The minister's voice pierced the silence. "Today, two daughters rise from sorrow, nourished by forgiveness, and flourish in grace." Amidst the throng, Mama Ada raised her hands, her praise a quiet yet fervent whisper. "Gratitude fills my heart, Lord." The wedding was a testament to something deeper than love. a celebration of second chances, hope igniting from ashes, a family once shattered, now fiercely united. The evening sun bathed the mansion's back garden in a haunting golden light. Birds glided, time suspended, each heartbeat a lingering breath of beauty. Soft music floated, intertwining with the warm laughter of loved ones. The wedding of Adiz and Kem had concluded hours earlier, yet the warmth of love still pulsed in every heart. Amidst the echoes of laughter, small groups huddled together, sharing fleeting moments of joy. Some twirled beneath glowing string lights entwined in tall palm trees, while others lingered by the garden fountain, savoring chilled zobo. In the mansion's prayer room, Mama Ada sat still, her fingers tracing the wooden rosary beads with a quiet intensity. "Thank you, Lord," she breathed, her voice trembling with gratitude. "Thank you for keeping me alive until now." Her mind raced back to that fateful morning, the day she was pulled into the light and branded a witch by the very woman who now embraced her as Mama, filled with love and pride. Her smile was barely there, yet it held a world of emotion. Change is possible, healing is real. Pain, surrendered to God, transforms into peace. Amara stood before the mirror, peeling away her gel, each layer revealing more than just her reflection. Her reflection transformed, no longer a woman shattered by grief, but a soul reborn in grace. Peace radiated from her eyes, her heart pulsed with calm. She glanced back, heart racing, as David stepped inside. He grasped 2 glasses of fruit punch, his heart racing as he offered her one. "They're both gone with their husbands now," he said, a bittersweet smile crossing his face. Amara's laughter was a quiet spark in the silence. The silence in the house is deafening. David perched on the bed's edge, tension crackling in the air between them. "Amara, I need to share something with you." She faced him, heart racing. "Once, fear gripped me tightly. When will it happen? The day I arrived in the village, searching for you. Could I ever trust you again? Would you even want to come back?" Her head dipped, a silent agreement hanging heavy in the air. I felt the fear as well. I believed I had shattered it all. David grasped her hand tightly. "Today, as you walk and Kem down the aisle, I see the love you've shown my mother, the way you've raised our daughters, and the grace you embody. Amara, you are my every dream realized." Tears brimmed in her eyes. "It was a struggle." "I know," he whispered. "But you did it." They pressed close, foreheads touching, enveloped in a tender silence of thankfulness. 2 weeks passed. The twins were back from their honeymoons, and the David household slowly found its rhythm once more. This time, everything changed. Amara dedicated herself to creating a sanctuary for widows and forsaken elderly women. The initial outreach took place at a community center.